Hey, I'm Ollie from WP, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain to you two things. Firstly, why constantly increasing revenue may actually not be the best indicator for how effective your Amazon marketing campaigns are. And two, how constantly trying to optimize and reduce your ACOS in your campaigns may actually be doing more harm than good. Let me explain. If you look at pretty much every category that we have on Amazon.co.uk right now, almost all of these categories over the next 10 years by default are going to grow. Now, the reason for that is because we haven't yet seen full adoption. The growth or adoption of Amazon does tend to lag behind. So if you're in the OTC sector, if you're in the healthcare sector, understand that by default, your category is going to grow whatever you do. Now, what that means is, what we've said is that your category is going to grow, and therefore by default, your brands and your products' revenue growth should also grow alongside it, okay? Now, if I show you over here on the board, and what we see here with the white line is this is basically how the revenue of the category is going to grow over the next 10 years. So as you could see with the red line, you could actually grow over the next 10 years, but you could actually lose market share. If we see where we are here, when we're close to the amount of the market available on Amazon, and here, in terms of percentage, we've actually reduced the market share we have as a brand. So we've increased our revenue like this, but we've actually reduced our market share. What we want to do is we want to create a campaign or a strategy which not only just tracks alongside at worst, but also over time increases your market share alongside. If we look at these two campaigns, the green line has managed to maintain and then has grown its market share over time. The red line has performed really badly, but if you look, the red line has still increased in revenue, right? The revenue of the red line has still increased. What I mean to say is that you could still be increasing your revenue and you could be losing market share. And losing market share is an indicator of a poorly effective Amazon advertising campaign. Now, what causes this? This is the really important thing. What causes this sort of strategy and this sort of performance? This is something we see quite a lot when it comes to our clients and future clients. And one of the reasons that causes this is a strategy which is aimed at reducing and what we call optimizing ACOS at all costs. Now, ACOS is what we call your advertising as a cost of sale. What that means is the percentage of your advertising sales that go towards advertising. And what advertisers and agencies sometimes trying to do is to reduce and optimize that ACOS number as much as they possibly can. This kind of makes sense because of a low ACOS means very, very efficient advertising, but it leaves you vulnerable. And what will happen with a highly optimized ACOS is this red line situation will happen here, where you grow your revenue, you start to decrease market share. My advice for you is, if you want to create a campaign along this green line, is find a healthy ACOS, an ACOS which gives you a good return, but also is aggressive enough so that you are actually taking market share from your competitors. If you want to perform a campaign which is along this green line, you're actually going to have to steal competitors or win new customers from either your competition or from people who we call new to brand. So these are people who come from not Amazon shoppers to come and start shopping on Amazon. And to win these types of customers, you need to be, frankly, quite aggressive in your advertising. And the more aggressive you are, the higher your ACOS. In summary, when it comes to monitoring the effectiveness of your ad campaigns on Amazon, please don't just look at revenue alone. It's very, very possible for you to perform a terrible ad campaign which actually loses you market share while still increasing your revenue. The reason why is because every category on Amazon over the next 10 years is going to grow. We're going to see the adoption grow, and then we're going to see the categories grow, and your brand should anyway by default. What you want to be tracking is things like market share. Look at analytics on share of voice. Look at analytics on share of shelf on certain keyword terms. Are you growing your presence in those areas? Because if you're not, you could be being eaten by your competitors. If you found this useful and you want to know a bit more, we're really, really happy to speak to you. So have a look at the link below. We are very happy to give you a free Amazon brand growth audit where we can speak to you about your brand, your listings, the growth on Amazon and the challenges you have. It's completely free and we're really, really happy to speak to you. So feel free to reach out. Looking forward to speaking soon.